Hello everyone, welcome to Center of Light. Tonight we are speaking about, did anybody figure out, check out my banner, I love it, it's so pretty. So I decided to leave it titleless, but the title in picture form is Time to Level Up. It's time to level up. The clock represents time, but yet it's inside of a black hole. And the science and the facts and the truth that is now coming out in science about black holes is amazing. They're really starting to learn that they actually do exist. They have photographic proof now. That being said, paradoxically, ironically, the time piece is in the middle of no time. Two, balance, level, being honest, and then we move upward. Time to level up. That's tonight's subject. Hello everyone in social media land. Good to see you. What came to me first was that in the channeling session you heard before I came onto the screen, talking about the earth is shaking, volcanoes are coming alive. What does that have to do with spirituality? How they are so connected. They are so connected. Humanity and the globe, and the solar system, and the galaxy, and the cosmos, and interstellar, galactic, cosmic, divine. It's all connected. And the tapestry is moving. Yesterday, I got a very strong hit. There was no information. It was a shift. It was, I'm sure many of you felt it. Every day, the election, this is not about politics. This is not about anti-politics. I'm revealing something, throwing out an idea, a nugget. Say, hey, we can just chew on this because we're bored. Let's chew on it. Let's see if this theory, not necessarily mine, but spiritual, has any truth to it. Let's play with the idea that they're connected. They are. So what we see in the form of world calamities, natural calamities, all this uprising and upheaval. Check yourself. Are you sure that you know the difference between what is good and what is evil? That's a very dangerous game to be playing. Especially in this time when you got so much push behind you. It's time to level up. There is a storm coming. And it's not going to look anything that we ever thought it was going to look like. Nor is the new world. Do we want our new world to look like the one that we can envision? Or the one that's beyond the fact that we can actually see right now? So it requires us to level up and to move into this space passionately, sincerely, humbly, and vulnerably. It's called opening. And I'm hoping that we can all do this together and get to that place and leave every trace of all of that, which means nothing at all, behind. There are big changes. Heather, there are big changes coming. This is not about politics. One way or the other. I'm using it as a model, as a landmark, as a scale, so we can see the balance, the peace sign, the two sign, time piece to level up. It's important that I show this again. The name of the presentation is Time. The black hole. We are in a black hole. The black hole. We are being pulled into the event horizon of the new possibility. Time is depleting. It literally is depleting. My work, The Divine Principle, talks about this at great length. To balance, we're living in duality. Time to level. We need to not only level off, we need to level up. Yanava, the flower of life, center of light, is who you are. It's not hard. We understand it. But now we have to do something about it. It's time to level up. Every day we get closer to November 4th. You can write this down. You probably already thought of this yourself. I'm just reminding you. Every day we get closer to November 4th, the chaos volume is going to be turned up. Watch. See, that's pretty easy for anyone to see. Come November 4th, you heard it here. As bad as it could get, bad, as chaotic as it could get about all that stuff, if it doesn't go the way a certain group feels so heroic right now, the upheaval fire is going to be turned up like you can't imagine. It's not saying pro or con anyone. It's a fact of the matter. If the Republicans, so many people are behind Donald Trump, it's okay. That's what they do. In some ways I see the beauty. In some ways I see the chaos. Overall, I see the absolute beauty, which is something's unfolding here. And I backed up in perspective to look at the unfoldment, not between what I think is good, bad, in, out, up, down, right, wrong, holy, blasphemous, light, dark. There's a greater light than the light that is opposite of the dark. That's the all-encompassing light that understands the dual split, but yet exists beyond that frame of reference. That is what we call God. Who is the light and the consciousness and the intelligence behind the split of the light and the dark? That is the infinite intelligence. That's where we're going. We're not just graduating up a karate belt. We're getting the gold buzzer on American Idol or America's Got Talent. We're getting the gold buzzer, right? Bang. There's going to be a lot of growth. But until we level up, this stuff is going to continue to level off. And many people will go off. And it's our job to be cool hippies. That's it. It will try you. I'm being tried. For many, many years, Keith's smooth syrup on the pancake button, that has changed. I feel stuff moving, and some of my closest friends around me will tell you. I'm grounded, but I don't like the movement that's dancing around inside of me. But I'm excited about it because I know what it's going to lead me to as I find myself, give myself some wiggle room in the situation. Now is not the time for hesitation, trust me. And it's only going to be aggravation or elation. That's the only two choices you got. There's no more middle ground. There is no more middle ground. You see it all around you. So my presentations talk a lot of this in various forms. Also, I'll talk about individual subjects like meditation and anxiety and depression and awareness and this and that. But as you know, my work is right now, has my focus. Because for whatever reasons, I feel, for me, that I'm supposed to be in this place, right, sort of Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, my new release coming out July 31st, 2020. The bridge, crossing the bridge to the soul. So this is what my work, my heart, my guide, that which is me that I know I cannot do anything other, is saying, this is where you need to be right now, is this place, to be with my brethren and my sister, and to do exactly what I'm doing, so we can all find a beautiful excuse to hang out on a Friday night at about 8:17 p.m. Central Time on February 7th, 2020. Welcome to the Center of Light Hour, y'all. You can pre-order this book on Amazon now. Keith Anthony Blanchard. Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. 30 years, blood, sweat, tear years in this work. When you crack it open, you're going to feel the light, because it's exactly what it is. It's been that which has been fashioned from passion, sincerity, humility, and vulnerability, and responsibility. Having the ability to respond to a need. We all need each other. There's no one above another. We all need each other. So all of the people who go along with the we all need each other, they will all come together in a group and be self-supportive, self-sufficient, self-reliant, because they will be in touch with the overall self, which governs the flow of the spirit through everyone in the tribe. You feel that vibe? That's what I'm talking about. Everybody else is too busy dividing themselves, bickering and yang-yanging and all that stuff, and quibbling, squabbling, squibbling. They're gonna. Pope John Paul said, evil will always devour itself. I'm not saying people that we love who do things and get caught up in currents and caught up in loops and habits. That's not what I'm implying. I'm implying the principle that is not congruent with that which is at the highest level in this time we're living in will devour itself through the riffraff, the tomfoolery, the nonsense, the chaos that they're choosing to live in over and over. And this doesn't mean it's going to happen next week. It can. The energy's wobbly right now. That door is freshly open. That baby just came out of mama. And there's a lot of yellow baby diarrhea that's going to happen, that somebody's going to have to clean. But if you glean the information and the knowledge, you basically get your baby white, your spiritual baby white. And you can wipe the mess that's happening so you don't digress, so that you do progress. It's all a self-test. No one's doing something to you. God ain't punishing you. Neither is the devil influencing you. It's nonsense. When people say the devil is real, you are your own worst devil. Your mind can come up with things that don't exist and say, I swear this is real. It's a real illusion. You may call your experience real, but what you think you are experiencing is not real. Hence the point. It takes a person of spiritual capacity. Spiritual capacity. Everything is spiritual, but in this context, I'm saying it's going to take everyone who has the spiritual capacity to be able to handle it. You are on the onset, but it's coming. It sounds like doom and gloom. It is not. It is change. It's time for a change. What we have always known has caused pain on a cracked bell that has rung throughout the earth. Not the Liberty Bell, the bell that's broken. The collective slave bell that everyone still follows like sheeple off to slaughter. There is a greater window open. It's to the light. Basically, take it in context, out of context, play with a little bit of both, I don't care. Almost as if a mothership, a divine mothership, if that makes you feel better and it sounds better as a metaphor so you can digest it. A divine mothership has come at last and opened up its divine landing doors and say, step in. Get on board. Life changes. We go to another star system of light. Real or metaphor, doesn't matter. The fact that what I'm saying to you is firing you off at levels of dopamine and this and fan and everything. The God molecule is all being fired off in your pharmaceutical brain and sending this possible dream, prophecy into your life. I would borrow Nancy Pelosi's pen. Have fun with that. And sign the document. Say, I want some of that. And from my experience, for many, many years of playing in the arena of spirituality with some very, very evolved spiritual people, and I don't mean these kinds of people. I mean you and me kind of people. People who just would do things just by just being in their presence. Shit began to happen. And it's sort of like, for me, was being grandfathered into a tribe of wise, knowledgeable individuals who says, you want to hang around this pack? You are going to shift by being in our proximity, period. And these people don't jack around. They will pick you up and throw you in a moving river off of a very tall cliff. If you have a fear of heights and water, they'll say, deal with it. So in the same way, with all love, we're going to have to deal with it. We've been wanting to jump. 1, 2, 3, I'm scared. 1, 2, 3, I'm scared. Go ahead and just jump. 1, 2, 3, I don't know, I'm scared. Somebody's going to push you. And it's pushing us all collectively to become better. That's what true nobility is. It's not to be better than anyone else. It's to be better than I was yesterday. But tomorrow's coming. Look at tomorrow from a present vantage point and know that you have to become the change you want to see in the world. And that door is open. Again, before I take a small break, November 4th, however it goes down, the day after Election Day, when it says it's done, game's over, football game, fourth quarter, countdown. Tick, 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 tick. Watch this. Today's presentation is time to level up. The time is in a no time zone factor. The clock is in a no time zone factor. We're in a black hole. Your eyeballs are black holes. They take in radiated light, and no light can escape your eye. And it is a black hole all the way down to infinity. That is an interstellar event right there. That is your level of divinity to infinity. Is to be that being that can take radiated light like a black hole. Grab it. It just pulls it all in. Your eyes literally break them down. The components from the nucleic particles, the gross all the way to the nucleic particles. And it takes in matter and information. Put that on your sandwich. What you think is happening is not happening. That's the biggest illusion, humanity. That's the biggest hurdle we're trying to jump. Many people are leaping over the hurdles while their brethren may be stumbling, but he gets over it eventually. So we're not racing each other. We're just trying to get over the frickin' hurdle, but we can only get over the hurdle on the hurdle track at our own pace. The clock, not against your brother or someone you're running next to, component-wise. That's not what the clock you're running against. The clock you're running against is time, as saying, what's really happening in the time depletion? This is the door that's open. I'm going to paint this. I'm going to do my best to paint this very, very clearly. My desire as a teacher is so that I could level up to a level that I mentioned something one time. It's just some strange goal I have. That I can mention something in one talk that a person never needs to go back to another teacher ever again. It's not about my ego. It's about me wanting to be that clear, to be so efficient as a wellspring of knowledge, light, example. Many of us are already doing this, but here is the door that we're dealing with. The door that is being shown to us is that we're being pushed out of time, is the distance between our thinking and it happening is getting very, very small. So if you're living centered, love and light, as they say in the spiritual cliche movement, slang, if you're centered and you're planted and you understand this is happening and I'm not involved with this drama, the drama of earth, you understand that your thoughts are your experience, which creates your feeling, which creates the action, which creates how everybody else around you is affected. And because you're clean, now you're pure fire. We always talk about fire. Because now you're getting your fire element within yourself into congruency with nature. One of the 5 elements. You're aligning with fire consciously. So you're no longer burning your bridges. No longer burning yourself out. All these different ways of playing with the conundrum, the metaphor of fire and spirituality and how things are all involved. So you become congruent. So you're not in the spin of bad things. The door that is open is there's no more time. So what you think pro or con is not going to happen later on down the line to where you never realize in the first place that you are the creator of your life and your experience. That is being removed from you as I speak. It's literally being pulled out of you. No more time. And so the buffer of time used to stop the manifestations of the things that terrify us from the thought of being terrified with these thoughts in the first place. So now reality is going to, every time you have fear-based thoughts, you hang out with certain groups of people, God bless their heart, and I mean that sincerely. When you're around people, you become a tone. You become birds of a feather. And if you're hanging around with groups of people, you can still love them from a distance. The window is being opened. And everyone's tomfoolery on all levels for every possible reason is going to be shown to everyone. I didn't know that. You didn't know that. That's okay. But this is part of your cycle, maybe as to why you didn't know it. But for those who are choosing to get aboard the unifying humanity train, all for the all, are the ones that are hear the call. It's not hard. It's not like this sky's going to crack open and these angels and these... I'm not saying that's not possible. I love possibility. I live my life in possibility. I'll take that too. However it's going to look, it's going to be to the effect of the clouds parting and the angels trumpeting and all that cool stuff. Or the sky's going to get real ominous for you and dark. It's not a Armageddon. It's truly a revelation for those who are able to see what's being revealed. It does not take a savior to do that. You have to save yourself. You have to want to see. You have to want to be saved by your savior before anything can ever happen. If Jesus is your savior, he's not the one who saves you. You save your own self by saying, Jesus, come save me. You made the choice to have influence. To say, align me with that which we call being saved. Give me grace. You can call it saved. You can say Jesus. You can say grace. You can say the most beautiful thing in the universe. That which I feel when I'm with my brand new baby daughter. Why wouldn't that work? What's the difference? My heart resonates the same. Bing! And it says, that's purposeful. That's magic. That's meaningful. So now we have a barometer without excuse that says, this is horseshit and needs to quit. So that's not also pointing blame that they need to quit. That's saying the experience of what we collectively have been living in, don't we have enough? So everyone gets together now and says, okay, we're this magical to create this kind of illusory experience for ourselves. It's time to level up. Let's level up. Level up. Level up. Time, the clock in a black hole. 2, balance, level up. Hello everyone, Keith Anthony Blanchard, Center of Light. I'm having a wonderful energy move through me right now. Thank you for always joining me. Yesterday I felt something very, very powerful shift. Very powerful shift. Hello Kelly and YouTube land. But I felt something shift dramatically. And it feels like something. I'm not going to hold no punches. It doesn't feel good. Doesn't mean everybody start biting your nails and start freaking out. It means there's a storm coming. Things are going to change. In fact, I'm going to read something, then I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to find it. Excuse me. Welcome to Center of Light, my beautiful friends. It's a little bright, I know, because I have a light white document being reflected on my head. It's saying a word's not in my book. That's crazy. No wonder, because I'm spelling it wrong. There we go. From the Divine Principle. Take a short pause after this, so welcome everyone. See you shortly. Stick around. I'm trying to make this easier on myself, so I'll just open it up. It doesn't matter. Can you understand why people are not willing to change their thinking? Like you, most live with deeply rooted beliefs reinforced from their past and past lives. More than likely, this explanation does not surprise you because you know what it has taken for you to move through your own I am separate from God belief. But the fact remains that for the world to actually become the kingdom written about in the passage of Scripture, everyone must do the requisite work. Said differently, it's time we level up. The good news, this is Spirit speaking, the good news is that the truth process has already begun. This was vesseled in 1996. The good news is that the truth process has already begun. It is not difficult to find malfeasance of all kinds revealing itself. Governments are being exposed for what they do. Officials of some religious denominations now face challenges because they have chosen to sweep their clergymen's misdeeds under the rug. Schools are full of too little learning and too much violence. And the economic system, well, it seems that many institutions of the world are assumed to be stable or showing signs of breaking down. This is what I felt yesterday. I might lose my composure. Spirit says, 1996. I tell you again that if humanity were in absolute alignment with the divine will, consciously, it would not be in its present condition. But rest assured, this condition will be corrected early in the new millennium. That is when the entire world will find itself submerged in absolute God change. And that is when it will become mandatory for everyone to question everything you believe to be true. As you all meditate upon the enigma of God, you will have no choice but to re-examine what you think to be divine. That's the change that's coming. Everyone is in for a wake-up call. Hold on. Be right back. But it's beautiful. Trust me. We're nervous. But it's beyond understanding. That's the grace. That's always been there. See you shortly. Wow. Surely as the rain may fall, I wonder why. Worried there'll come a time when my world is dry, oh so dry. In the summertime I won't have no water. It's a little bit harder to take. Lonely as I contemplate a billion stars, leaving my hands to fate. That's all I've got, all I've got. In the summertime I won't have no water. It's a little bit harder to Welcome back to Center of Light. That was Lavender Soul. Bernard and I have been writing for the new album. It's been a couple of months since we've been together, but he's been traveling and you get the idea. We're working on a new album. I'm excited. It's good to see Vicky in here. Hi, Vicky. I want to confess something. As I've been presenting here tonight we're talking about it's time we level up. It's time we level up. Time to level up. As I'm sitting here, outpouring, being in that space, I love that place. There's something in there for me. And this platform, even though I give, I'm receiving because it's this platform that I use as my excuse to be in that space. Still in all, it's a very real experience for me. But as I was presenting, I realized when I was trying to describe that shift I had yesterday about what's about to happen. This is centered around politics. Not my message to you. Hear me out. It's centered around politics because of the focal point that politics' power has. It has power. It's a focal point. It's a center point of the world's gaze. So as it moves, so does the whole world. Okay. And every day that we get closer to election, the chaos volume is going to be turned up. That is a fact. November 4th, the day after, when it's over and they say, well, the Chiefs won. Whoever wins. That is going to be a very monumental day, not only in the consciousness of America, but the world. The most powerful person is going to occupy that chair. That's one thing. So now everybody says this person is the pillar of global power. This is not about elite. This is not about this. This is just looking at things as they are. That's a fact. You can't change that fact. So that's a pillar of something planted. What is not planted is how everybody's going to respond to that. Half of the people are going to be yay, and half of the people are going to be nay. But on levels you have never seen yet. I hope to God this is not the case. But there is a potential for one particular group to not have it go the way they truly think it's going to go. As if it was Goliath or, you know, some big landslide. I that's the feeling. Because there is a joke being told to humanity, is that things are in such hyperfertile ground. Things are moving. They're just wobbling. It's moving. The field has been excited. The spider web is now activating. The tapestry's been touched. The bell has been rung. Time is depleting, as I was telling this. But where I wanted to go with this was to tell you, I'm, as a visionary, as someone who I think is open, well, at least for me, more open than I've ever been in my life, in the glimpses I get, I'm somewhat nervous. Not afraid. I'm nervous. That's why it was tough for me to be more fluent in my earlier talk. Because what lives in that place, the near future, 5 years, is going to be chaos. Now, what I mean by chaos, I don't mean anarchy. I don't mean rebellion. Some of this can happen. But I don't mean it in the dark fashion. I mean chaos. It's just stuff moving around, trying to figure itself out. So eventually, it can settle. That's how energy works. Just swish some water in the pan. Swish some people together. This is what happens. So it's our responsibility to allow what the possibilities are, because we're so used to living in an idea. This is what we do. This is what we're allowed. But here's what's coming. They're about to legalize this, or they're about to do that, or whatever the situation may be. And then we have one more layer that we're used to, which is daydreaming. I hope this happens. There's something else, and it wants our attention. But it's got to get all those other layers out the way. So in order to participate, we have to, not only to participate, we have to be the way sharers. We have to make it happen. That is what's etched on the heart of every human creature that has ever walked on the face of this earth. But it requires us to level up. Level up. Whatever you do, step back. It's going to be a ride. Enjoy the ride. Amusement parks, roller coasters are scary as hell. But you ride them anyway, don't you? Only to be exhilarated when you finally are able to take the seatbelt off and enjoy your day at the cosmic Disney World. Good to see you. I'm taking questions, ideas. Anybody want to share something? I got bells and whistles going off everywhere. So welcome everyone. So about my resistance to step in there, I'm going to give you a short list. If it means anything at all, and by no means, this is not an attempt to pigeonhole anyone's beautiful imagination. You can call it psychic, you can call it prophecy. That's not how I view it at all. I've integrated something. It's a feeling. And that's how I'm able. It's my guide always. I don't deviate. I don't ever deviate. And so, what I see from hanging around that man, and physically, well, I was around physically Sai Baba. This man, that's the universal Lord. I say this all the time. This is God on earth. This is the universal Lord. It's not Jesus, but he is the Christ. And Jesus is the Christ. And Buddha is the Christ. And Krishna is the Christ. Everything that's beautiful is the Christ. Your brand new born baby sister is the Christ. So Christ means that which is just really good stuff. Right? That's really good stuff. And he's here. And his mission will not fail. God doesn't fail. So by hanging around these people, knowing how they walk, they have a gait, a graceful gait by the way they just walk. There's a feeling that you have no control over, that overcomes you. And you start to remember things because you're standing in the presence of the divine light in the form of a human being, and you're engulfed by his auric field. You just remember what it's like just by looking at him. To go, wow, in all this effortless presence and power. And using him as the gauge or the barometer of what I know to be as everything else I use my heart to look upon either is part of that symphony or it isn't. And what I see, that's coming. The beautiful stuff's coming. But remember, it fits. If the world is broken, it needs to be fixed. There is a restoration, restructuring, rebuilding process. It's already started. And they're hiring. Fill out an application in the office. I did. Service is the highest calling there is. You want to shave karmic miles off of your existence? Service. Service. And then you find the joy of service. And then you want more of it like a drug. You want some God smack. So it's really not about the religion. It's about your relationship with something that means something to you. Other than that, nothing means anything to you. So I have found, I've experienced living human beings that have that to the level of infinity. That's what's coming. But equally, to the level of the light infinitely, there is another vortex spinning. You don't want to be in it. And I guess the reason I'm not supposed to leave, so to speak, this post as a teacher is because that's where I'm supposed to be. Because this is the front of the game. In fact, I'm not going anywhere. This is center of light. My point is, I'm going to always be here outputting what I get from these beings. Because they want a revelation. They want to reveal. This is part of that revelation. So what I see coming are things that are crazy. You won't understand it. Don't try to understand it. You will fall into the trap. Don't try to understand. Oh, this is this group and oh, that's that group. You're joining the fight. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It might seem fun. It might tantalize you. It might tease you or tempt you. Get out of it. Just turn away. I'm done with that. It's just not necessary. It's a bad habit. That's it. Done. Work done. You're safe. A lot of that's going to start moving around. Don't try to latch onto something when you are falling. You want to fall. Because once you hit solidly, there's no more struggle. You landed. Everybody else who's still wobbling is still wobbling. They're the ones experiencing that stuff. So you don't want to wobble. You just want to be. You want to be safe. You want to be centered. This is just going to spin around me. I'm just in an amusement park ride, and it's convincing, but soon the ride will end. It's just not going to be what we used to. We are comfortable creatures. We like living in boxes. This is safe. I may not like it, but I'm used to it. It's the unknown. That door of unknown. For those who have touched true beauty, will understand what true beauty is as it begins to pour onto this planet. Inventions, inventions, inventions. People are going to love inventions, and people are going to call it the devil's tool. It's never the tool. It's always the fool. I'm going to use this hammer to build some shelter for homeless people. Or I'm going to smack someone over the skull. See what I'm saying? And so these ideas that are the heart of, not the heart, but the mind or the structure of what we're doing, that is collapsing. That's why the world is on fire. People are mad. And the whole infrastructure of what we know as the building blocks of humanity is burning. And what lies after that is going to be technology like you have never seen in your life, never even thought possible. Things are going to be revealed to you about our cosmic brothers and sisters. The integration of celestials, not only extraterrestrials, celestials. This is all true. It's all happening. It's coming. So it's more of, do you want to play in the arena with the light we have been promised for eons through scriptures? Or do you want to just go insane with all this just going to continue? This great split is happening. The great split is happening. So you don't have to split. You don't want to become bipolar, not knowing what to do. I'm going to take one more pause. Going to be right back. I found a piece of music by my rock band, Grand Theft Audio. I just grabbed it. I hope it's okay. Sure.
Since I picked up my life to my own, and I carry a heavy load.
Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to exit here shortly. I want to share with you an overview. What twisted inside of me yesterday. I got a glimpse. At least for me. But I'm definitely open to beautiful ideas. I really am. All possibilities. I live in the gate of all possibilities. Once things start moving, they're going to start moving. And you're going to see it. And you're going to feel it. Just be centered. Just be centered. Just understand. Just understand that you're in a swimming pool. And they put on some jets. And the water's moving. You're just moving. Or you can let the jets take you. Kind of idea. What will not happen often is someone or many people stepping up and saying, this is what's about to happen. A lot of people are caught up in the current. This is what's happening. These are what these people are telling me. Swamji. Hold on tight. So it's time we level up. Because things are leveling off. Everybody's finding their place. The ground's becoming even. The playing field's becoming even. Things are leveling off. Things are settling. People are finding compartments to group. They're becoming birds of a feather. They're coming together. And that's beautiful. That's called the diversity of humanity. That's what the whole thing is about in the first place. But the groups are going to start fighting groups. They're going to become cancerous to each other and not realize that what they really are is the diversity of humanity. That's the conundrum. If you see that and that alone, pretty much everything else will take care of itself. That people are going to group. They're grouping already. People who bowl, they go bowling together. They're hanging out. People who do police work, they hang out as policemen. Musicians, that's already happening. That's called diversity. Again, when people start coming at each other in groups, on groups, in bigger groups, on other groups, this is the current. Even Brad predicted this. Brad Johnson. I interviewed him a while back. Very, very powerful. A Lumen channel. He's not just mouthing off words and goes, oh, I think this is likely. No, this is not what he's doing. He's connecting. So, don't try to understand. Just observe. Accept, allow, and appreciate. It's part of the grace. Because if we had enough grace, which we do, we just don't see it. So we think we don't have it. So we can't see it. So we think we don't have it because we can't see it. If our normal world, we're assuming that we need more grace here. That has to say then we don't know what it is. So in order to ever experience it, we have to take ourselves out of the box of going, this normalcy is this all we get? So we have to step into fresh territory to say, ah, this is what it is. Wow, I never thought of that. Well, exactly. You never thought of it, because if you thought of it truly, wholeheartedly, you would have actualized it, but you hadn't seen it yet. So let me bring it about for you. And everybody who's now on board with the train, on the raft, pushing the current down the consciousness river, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. That's cool. Everyone else who's like salmon, going up the stream, all that effort, of course they go into birth, but also eaten by a bear. There's nothing you want upstream. There's nothing you want upstream. What's up, Scott? Carolyn, Carla Hooley, Cindy, everyone. Still trying to get over the weather. Janelle, Carolyn, Vicky, Michelle, Suzanne, Melissa, Jesse, everyone. I'm just not feeling well. I'm about to exit. I want to say thank you. I'm probably going to take tomorrow night off. Just because spending with my beautiful son. I'm going to be interviewing Nori Love soon, hopefully. If she let me. If I can be so blessed. I'm going to take a few days off maybe. But I want to say again, with urgency, heed, plant yourself. I'm always here if you need it. Nori's here. Many people are pillars in the country's community, spiritually. And I'm looking for mine. Nori gives me input all the time. She did today, in fact. We all need it. It's all about the all, not all for one. I mean, not one for all. There's just too much of not an inclusion. So as I said, what you can expect to happen in the very near future is those segregated communities of political, this, racism, that, war, anti-war, everybody's going to find their place, and the volume's going to be turned up, and the chaos can ensue in a way that you won't understand what to do with it. It's not your job to understand what to do with it. Your job is to understand yourself. Just be centered and know that Spirit has you in the palm of its beautiful hand, saying, it's all right. The storm will bitch. Let the storm bitch. I have been in a hurricane. Trust me. I know what it sounds like to go through the eye of a hurricane. I'm from South Louisiana. I know what it's like to find pine needles in my door when I open it up the next day. I would rather do that. I mean, I would rather have this storm, so to speak, than have another night in South Louisiana when a hurricane is blowing through it. It'll scare the Jesus out of you. Overview. The world's about to change. Your job is to change first and understand change and allow the change to move through you. Don't grab on. Grab on to something that you know is forever, not something that's transient, not something that is subject to change in and of itself. There's no more time. You can't grab enough rungs of the ladder fast enough to keep yourself out. So what you do is you find something that is truly a life preserver on all levels of your being. And that truly requires for everyone seeing what's happening. It's not about blaming and gaming and shaming. It's about saying, I'm just in a spin of divine cosmic energy and the joke is on me. And then the angels step out of the clouds and trumpets begin to herald. And everybody hears the call. And the gate opens up and we all step in. And it's sealed for 1,000 years of light. You're loved beyond measure.